Welcome to Bytes and Bolts. I'm your host, Jon Daiello, and this season I am super excited. This is our second season, and we're really excited about some of the topics we're going to explore this year. It's 2017. It's going to be a great show. In this season, we're actually going to take and set our focus a little bit beyond the web. You see, the web is really only a small component of what we do on our digital devices every day. So to kind of encompass that, we'd like to begin to focus on different aspects of the design and the web industries. And we want to bring it all together. We want to help you with content that's really going to serve you better. So in the interest of doing that, what we're going to do this season is actually focus a little bit beyond just the scope of the web and see what we can do to help you level up in your career. So to kick off our new focus this year, this podcast is going to be devoted to the topic of transition. Well, it's been quiet here on the podcast for a little while now. Funny thing is that life and career have been the complete opposite. You can actually hear in my voice there's some strain. I've been battling this cold, this nasty flu-ish type thing that's just taken over my body, but I'm fighting it. And you know what? We're going to podcast anyway. But you know what? You've probably actually heard that, the sentiment that your own website, your own projects, your own personal things, they kind of take a back seat when other things pop up. And this may be true, but that's really only when your site or when your project really isn't our highest priority. Now, don't be fooled. This project, my side projects, this website, everything, this is not my highest priority in my life. I don't want you to get the wrong impression here. But this topic has been something I've been thinking about for quite a while now. I knew that 2016 year would be the year kind of with this theme of transition, but I didn't realize how deep that theme was going to go. Now, at the end of 2015, so about a year ago, I decided that I wanted to give up full-time freelancing. I know some of you are probably shouting at me right now saying, what on earth? Why would you ever want to do that? Well, there were really a whole host of reasons behind the decision, but in the end, I felt it was really best for my family, myself, and my career. I'm grateful for all the people who worked with me while I was a full-time freelancer, and for the ones that still continue with me now. Many of them have poured into me and have helped me to shape my career. And they've given me skills that I possess now and I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my career. Now, it was a kind of a tough and an emotional decision, but I stand behind it, and I'm glad I made the decision since it led to a lot of personal development as well as career advancement. Now, I began searching for full-time employment kind of as this user experience designer. It's something that I gained a lot of experience with in the past few years, and it's something that I've learned more about. I've learned many of the UX disciplines, and I was eager to dive deep into that area of work. Now, after lots of interviews and missed opportunities, I really couldn't afford to be unemployed. And in this season of transition, I knew I could leverage my UI design and front-end development skills so I could refocus my efforts kind of in that area to nail a job. Well, things paid off. In January of 2016, last year, I started a full-time gig as a web designer and a front-end developer. I knew that I would need to level up my JavaScript skills for this, so I really began to study hard. I researched, I took online courses, I invested in my front-end abilities. And I was surprised at how easily I fell in love with JavaScript. It was kind of funny. It's one of those languages that I'd really stayed away from. I hardly really messed with it because I didn't really want to mess with it unless I absolutely had to. I was extremely grateful for resources like Treehouse with lynda.com and West Boss resources on the topic. Those guys did some great education that really helped to bring me along. I went from having kind of a working knowledge of JavaScript through jQuery to really rolling my own plain vanilla JavaScript stuff, to accomplish a wide variety of tasks. Throughout the year, I also continued still to kind of work on these UX skills wherever possible, because I knew that was still kind of a big interest of mine. And as the year progressed, I realized that I had to make a decision. I had a really long commute, and it was really starting to wear on my family. It was wearing on myself, my personal life, my ministries outside of work, my servanthood. I was impacted by it, and it became a great burden. So, I talked to my wife and I talked to close friends about how do I manage this commute issue? How do I go about making these types of decisions? And during these discussions, I happened to see an opportunity in the UX field. Immediately, I felt a draw to it. I felt a need that I had to give it a shot. Really didn't expect much. I wasn't quite sure how it was going to work out, but I knew if I didn't try, I was going to regret it. But this was actually perfect because this provided an opportunity for me to once again explore the field of UX opportunities that were in front of me. I was stoked at this opportunity. I was so excited. I went full bore, head on into this opportunity. I gave it my all, and I knew, you know what? I'm going to try. And the worst that can happen is I fail, right? And I could keep going the way I am. I don't mind. I was happy to double down and to do what I needed to do. But I wanted to take this opportunity and just see what actually was out there. What opportunities were there for me. To my delight, I was actually chosen for the UX position. I began a new role as a user experience practitioner for a company called Covenant Eyes. And they built some really great software that does some monitoring and some filtering on computers. I started this position in December of 2016, and I was elated. I'm telling you, I was so jazzed about this. I began my new role, and I quickly felt unprepared. I felt like I was surrounded by these geniuses, and rightly so. I had wondered if they made a giant mistake in hiring me. And that's when a panic set in for me. But the problem wasn't that I was unskilled. The problem was this industry pervasive disease called imposter syndrome. Now, I've heard of it, and I've experienced light battles with it through my career, but this time it was a doozy. It took me out. I began to question so much of my career, and I thought I couldn't make it. I started to discount my previous experiences and question their validity. Now, I started to confide in some colleagues who became close friends quickly, and friends from previous careers. And I found that people believed in me. They saw potential in me. Specifically, in this position, they saw potential for my design ability in the user experience arena. Now, imposter syndrome had clouded my vision. It distorted my reality so that I was blind to my own skills. One way or another, it was go time. I needed to step up, and I needed to show that I was capable of the job I was hired for. If I was deficient in anything, well, I got to be honest about it, and I got to learn and grow in that area. And in a position of leadership, I've got a team of highly skilled people that I can rely on to accomplish goals and to educate me where I have gaps. This was the aha moment where I dug in. I knew I could do the job. I don't know everything, but who does? I'm here to stay and here to learn. I'm here to do my absolute best for everything Covenant Eyes. So really in the end, there's multiple transitions that happened this year through finding a new job to begin with, trying to figure out which way to point my career, and really how to deal with imposter syndrome. So there's a few things that I learned and I would like to share with you. So first of all, in your transition decisions, sometimes it's hard to know whether you should make a change in your career. Do you stay put and dig deep, or do you take a leap on a new opportunity? What if you just focus your skills in a specific area, or develop the intent to move into a separate specialty, something different, something new? Your decision must consider all the facts, and there are opportunities all around you. But are there opportunities where you would like to go? Do you need special training or a special degree? Do you need to level up your skills? Can you provide for yourself and your family in a new role or in your current role? Take time to consider, be patient, and don't rush into anything. Secondly, on the area of skill focus, I had this vague notion of how and where to invest skills. I knew my time and resources were very limited as a husband and a father and a servant in my life. It wasn't until last week that someone articulated it well. Nate Denlinger wrote an amazing piece that relates to the concept of your life and your skills being like an RPG game. So essentially, think about it this way. You can invest in different areas of your career, but as a role player, you can't level up in every area. You have to kind of choose specialties and get better. What I found is that I really enjoyed user experience, and I wanted to level up, and I wanted to invest in that, so I continued on in that path. Now, the third one is imposter syndrome, and this is the final one that we're going to look at. But this is an industry-pervasive disease, and I'm going to hammer that into your brains here. This is an industry-pervasive disease, and it runs rampant. The greatest of the greats in our industry struggle with this from time to time. It can be caused by numerous things. But whatever the cause, put it behind you. Step up to the challenge and approach it head on. Learn, level up, and do your absolute best. Success won't come by giving up. So in this year, in 2016, this has been the year of transition for me. It's been a year of inspiration. It's been a year of learning what in the world am I going to do. I've been able to focus my efforts. I've been able to achieve some really great results. I'm having a blast in my new position as user practitioner. I've been having a blast as a team lead and learning how to lead people well and develop new skills that I never thought I could muster up. So I want to encourage you, in 2017, make it a year where you make it great. Invest in your career, invest in your family, invest in your life. If it's time for a transition, start giving it some thought. Consider what options you have. If you need to level up, take some training. There are plenty of great resources. Libraries now offer lynda.com for free almost everywhere. We've been really lucky to have this here in Dayton, Ohio as a great resource. But whatever you decide, do your best. Step up to it and don't let imposter syndrome take you down. Don't spread yourself so thin that your skills will lack. And if transition comes your way, be prepared, because you can handle it. Just take your time and be patient and be calm. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. This is kind of kicking off the new year, kicking off 2017. We are transitioning. We are in a transitional phase. We've gone from kind of a web focus to more of a broad web design, everything focus, because we want to help everyone in the industry, not just those web designers. We've got some great guests lined up this year, and I am super excited. So check back often. We're going to stay on a regular schedule this year, and I'm excited to see what happens. So if 2017 is your year of transition, make it a great one. Thanks for listening.